We also have the most experience out of any team in the world in digital assets, and we're 100% focused on digital assets. We don't have a single dollar of revenue that's not digital asset focused.
All right, excellent. We're here at Clayton Lowery out here at the summit with Network Firm, and appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. We wanted to just touch base on a little bit about what you've been doing lately, what your firm is up to, maybe a little bit of your background, kind of educate people on what your background is heading into kind of what you're doing now.
Yeah, we are a startup accounting firm, totally focused on digital assets, and a tech firm as well. We're the largest provider for proof of reserves in the world, covering stable coins, tokenized assets, RWAs, exchanges, custodians, and ETP issuers around the world. We started up early this year and cover assets under attest over several $billion that we do in real time. We built this back in 2018.
Now, when you say real time, what does that mean? Real time is in by the minute? Real time is in...
Actually up to every 30 seconds on some cases. Okay. Yeah, we're comparing liabilities, which are tokenized, the tokens issued on chain, to whatever's reserved with those tokens, typically on a stablecoin, either liquid cash or treasuries, short-term treasuries. And we're verifying those with the custodian or bank every up to every 30 seconds. We're limited by the data source. So some of them we do report daily, but somewhere in that range, typically 30 seconds to a day. And we're giving transparency to all the token holders or ETF holders or whichever type that we're doing.
Where have you found the greatest demand for that? The greatest interest in your services? And where have you found it, and what are they trying to solve when they come to you guys?
Probably stablecoins. They were the first. Stablecoins are really the first to focus on transparency in the wake of after Tether got so large back 5 or 6 years ago, and they just, like several of the new stablecoins decided that was going to be their competitive advantage to really focus on transparency. So they've really driven that forward, and it's not a regulatory standard, but it's become kind of an industry standard to adopt an examination opinion from a CPA. And so we see that a lot with stable coins. On the nuke side, we're seeing an explosion of RWAs, real estate backed NFTs, gold backed tokens. Those are smaller projects, and there's definitely no standard regulatory.
It's kind of all over the place, yeah.
But we're seeing it this year. We've seen a big explosion of those, and I think that's going to be tokenized assets are going to be huge, like all kinds, like commodities, even like intangible type assets we're seeing come on chain.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a controversial question. Tether. What do you have to say about the controversy that's been around Tether? Some of the stuff that still pops up every now and again. I know Nick Carter had a great thread on it before. What's your take on the Tether conversation that pops up on every so often basis?
Yeah, I applaud them for getting a little bit more transparent. I think there's a lot more they could do, including like their banking relationships and more transparency. I mean, they do now do a quarterly attest with an accounting firm out of Italy. I think it could be improved, and we'd hope to see them move to more of like a real-time environment or more transparency, even if it's not a real-time audit or real-time attest. We'd like to see them more transparent on exactly what instruments are backing them, and an attestation by someone. It'd be nice in the United States to do that.
Okay, you just get it where there's a more of a trusted regulatory environment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What now? There's a few firms that are out there that are trying to do, that have dabbled in your space, and they have not really blown it out. What makes the network firm, kind of have the competitive edge over some of the other firms that are out there that are trying to do what you're doing?
I think we're definitely the most innovative. We've been focused on innovation since we started. We first built our transparency technology back in 2018. Mm-hmm. We also have the most experience out of any team in the world in digital assets, and we're 100% focused on digital assets. We don't have a single dollar of revenue that's not digital asset focused. And so we've been doing this. Our team's been doing this since 2014. And have worked with a lot of big names now that were small back then. And so it's just an accumulation of experience and relationships we've built throughout this space that gives us that competitive advantage, and focusing on a technology first sentiment. Like a lot of accounting firms don't think tech first. They aren't as forward technology. And so that's why we've built this tech, and we're allowing other firms to come in and license it and use our innovation and platform to make things pretty easy to come in this space. And that's what we expect to see over the next couple years as the FTX thing sort of recedes in the background and the accounting firm fear of this space recedes.
Are you seeing that now? Are you seeing it recede at all right now? Or are you seeing we're still
not as
very
much
much
in
in the thick of it?
Yeah, not as much in the U.S.
Okay.
It's coming, but the U.S. has I think the FTX thing stuck here in some of the accounting firms that were in the U.S. that were involved, like around some of the stuff, the reserve stuff that was happening here, and the subsequent events of that. Just there's a panic in the industry, but internationally, very much so. It's like a lot of the international accounting firms see an opportunity now, and we've got a few coming on board.
You're seeing all the changes have already occurred from the FTX fallout? Have you seen people already adopting new standards, kind of understanding counterparty risk, a new appreciation for understanding counterparty risk?
It's slow to evolve. We've been focusing on this since 2018 and thought it would be even sooner. And then I feel like it's frustrating for us and everybody because it's like we need something bad to happen before people care about this stuff. And it's like, it's this kind of back and forth. And then everyone cares. Like right after FTX, there was this explosion of proof of reserves. And a bunch of firms jumped in, but then they all jumped out. And so we're seeing a change, especially like on the projects that are new and need like a trust sell. And we've seen a lot of exchanges start to jump into, and now in Texas, it's going to be required very soon to do a proof of reserves quarterly and with a self proof of reserves and annually with an auditor.
Now you're also, you wrap up here, but you're also on the board of the Texas Blockchain Council. Yeah, you're doing a lot of bit of work, so you're multifaceted. You're running the firm. You're also on the board.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to get out to everybody? To where can they reach you? And any other thing you want to make sure that we touch base on before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, at Clayton Lowery on Twitter, Clayton1211 on Telegram. TBC is great. I think it's one of the best organizations in the country. It's been such an honor for us as a company and me as an individual to be involved with this since the very beginning. And it's great to see how big this event is. I mean, it's amazing. And all of y'all have done such a great job with this event and building this organization up. And I'm like really excited to see kind of how it evolves into the next bull run.
Yeah, no, we really appreciated being able to pull in guys with, you're younger, but you have some gray hairs from, you've got some stories of guys that started out in the garages that are household names now. Yeah. And so having that experience kind of like, as you said, from 2014 on and being that as part of the core of the TBC.
Hopefully not too much gray hair yet.
Yeah, no. Well, it's some wisdom. You've picked up some wisdom through the years. So you've seen some stuff. Yeah. And you have appreciation for a proper appreciation for risk. And it sounds like
you learn a lot in this space fast. It's like condensing a career into like a few years. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I've already had like a couple full careers.
No, we've had some off camera. We've had some conversations, right? Your dad doing the hedge fund and running capital, and you've got some unique experience around it. But be in the space for any amount of time, and you're gonna pick up some wisdom or some losses. Yep. Maybe a little bit both.
It's fun though.
Absolutely. So it's great having you on there. Thanks for stopping by today. All right.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out to the 2023 North American Blockchain Summit. It was the best summit yet. We look forward to hosting you again next year. If you enjoyed the summit or like what you saw in this video, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in learning more about membership in the TBC, go to texasblockchaincouncil.org to learn more.